problem, we're painting a room which has a floor that looks like a circle and the rest of it looks like half of a sphere. Now we're told that we need 10 gallons of paint in order to paint the floor, and from that we need to find out how much paint we need for the interior of the room, and the interior of the room means half of a sphere. Now anytime we're talking about painting something, that usually means that we have to think about surface area and area. And here I've written down the formulas for finding the area of a circle, which is our floor, and the surface area of a sphere, which is what we need in order to paint the hemisphere. Now, we're only trying to paint half of a sphere, so I'm going to change this to half a sphere, and I'm going to divide by 2 because I'm halving it. So instead of 4 pi r squared, it's going to be 2 pi r squared. Now take a look at these two formulas. Area of a circle is pi r squared, and the surface area of half of a sphere is 2 pi r squared. In fact, that means is if we're talking about two objects that have the same radius, the surface area for the sphere will be exactly twice as much as the area of the circle. That means that if you're trying to paint something that is half of a sphere, you'll need twice as much paint as if you're trying to paint something that is a circle if they have the same radius. So if we're told that it takes 10 gallons of paint to cover the circle, for which the formula is pi r squared, how much paint is it going to take for us to cover that hemisphere, for which the formula is 2 pi r squared? Well, if this is doubled, all I have to do is double on this side as well. Therefore, I need 20 gallons of paint in order to paint the hemisphere. If you wanted to do this in a slightly more roundabout way, what you could do is say, okay, so it takes 10 gallons of paint to cover the circle, for which the formula is pi r squared, and then you could find the radius by dividing both sides by pi in order to get 10 over pi equals r squared, and taking the square root of both sides, which would give you that the radius is equal to the square root of 10 over pi. Then, in order to find the surface area of half a sphere or a hemisphere, you would just plug that radius in. So you would write 2 times 10 over pi square root of squared times pi, and that would give you 2 times 10 over pi times pi. The pi's would cancel out, and you are once again left with 20 gallons. So a short way and a long way to finish the problem.